low boxing greater than before being the value of slavery. Beyond it was another form of it, maintaining it, maintained, blamed on others, and to maintain that self-justify inherently, actively, and progressively as a long-term breaching organized crime method. Using the branches motivated to it this way. Using human nature motivated to this way. Engineered as a criminal insidious nature was. As fact cheap in nature rolls. Bottom up. Areas was it king's extortion. Chief's extortion. President's extortion. POTUS extortion. Chief's extortion. It's just why presidents have three names. Never let the chief, because they're Oz. Because all nations are here together. Internation families communicated to confess that to me, demonstrated to me with criminality too. They have criminal relationships and uses. See, people when you go to business, people communicate things, different people from different things, and they pretend they don't do it. They pretend it's lies for what police they call the right to lie. But it's way deeper than that. Because that is with them maintained that pseudo sophistication is tactically only realize breaching nature, fact cheap in nature. Predators with areas, with suit and tie justifications of the sciences tactically abridged. The Constitution tactically abridged. Fact cheap tactically abridged. So we come to the boxing arts. We play no games. So what they're doing is refusing to let crime acts and crime methods and crime sequence shifts and database crimes recorded to be demonstrated verbally with an active crime with areas. And you can't sue unless you pick one. There's too many juxtaposed natures of crime. And as the interbranch actors recorded and confessed, raised, criminally engineered, victim predators, overt predators. We have to stop the courts before Monday. We have to go put reliefs in jails, all non-violent criminals. And we have to address their recorded rackets and tricks with switching names and forging names. Courts and with they're recorded and confessed area crime rolls, intercity through time, tied to Wethersfield interbranch corruption, since George Washington had could only semi-counter extort what had slavery in Wethersfield and Hartford right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War. Also, Aiello family and police and interbranch, off-campus, on-campus, and interbranch actors confessed and recorded with criminal uses of CCASU in conjunction with and as cultivating roles of victim predators with Trinity College, with their databases in relationship to tied untimely deaths, one on Trinity College's campus, with the professors that made confessions and recorded database crime rolls with that too. And and he walked in. Someone told him I wrote a letter. I didn't deny. Then he died. So before I got to deal with it, and there's a lot of murders too, and weird untimely deaths. Also tied with recorded ties to the ones that I don't know anything about, like the shootings, but I could see a pattern tied to them. And like, for example, with the news being used criminally to defend fake passions, because then they want to have a debate about criminal insidious nature with and as a fact treatment nature, dishonest, recorded, already having fake sides of stories and stuff related to that. They're hiding lies and delusions and criminal intimidation persuasions when they say they can't believe that killer would be tied to anything else. Meanwhile, we have gang killings all the time covering lie progressions. This is another nature of lie progression cover-up and tied to a different nature of crime. I've been asking Sal's kid to report too things about they call it a band, or that's what we were told as kids by the men involved with kid corruption. Still, as adults, with recorded ties between child sexual predators, with the police forms further recorded with crimes with them before that. See, I caught them making rape threats and abusing women and coercing women intercity, and with Wethersfield, and with the schools they brought up. And with untimely deaths, they also brought up in time and tied to school. So I went on the Facebook page first, before mentioning it, started writing about English, because I was already aware of their recorded roles with criminal uses of investigations and of investigators online. So that we have an internation problem too, with them, with medical corruption tied to courts. And actors like a Dylan and his family members were also recorded and confessed from strangers in a pattern since I was a kid. So they were following me with a pattern of crime, of database crimes tied to this, and with other police forms. Like former director of FBI was a defendant in a case they attached me to fake conversations to with federal criminals who had roles of drug dealing with the kids I knew growing up. And didn't know at all just from my grade. They put classmate placements that are criminally foreign influence through the original areas maintained ones. So we have an internation, fake identities, justification natures, of fact treatment nature roles with database crimes, with sequence shift crime, preventing crime acts from being reported. So this is what the Bible's about. Criminal insidious nature that's criminally legalized and criminally exploited, and so it's totally against slavery too. By that point, that's a trap with it, because it knew that it was going to be handing it off to tool-engineered criminal insidious nature roles. Everybody from the criminally re-engineered campus Marcius, campus returns, religion train, who'll trial tribe. Be Legion 2 at the same time, correlation nature, valiant to this way is ratiocinations means as evolutions. Clear bodies means they come.